In this section, we will talk about the challenges of having a small kitchen. Small kitchens are not only limited by their size but also by their functionality. They may have 1 or 2 ovens, but they might not have a stove top for cooking. This limits the types of food that can be cooked in these kitchens. The basics of decluttering and organizing a small kitchen. When it comes to decluttering and organizing a small kitchen, there are many different approaches. The key is to find the one that works best for you. Some people prefer to start with the cupboards and drawers. They remove all of the items and then sort them into categories like baking supplies, cooking utensils, dishes, etc. This method can be time-consuming and difficult for those who have a large number of items in their cupboards. Others prefer to start with the fridge or freezer first. They remove any expired food or leftovers that need to be eaten, and then they organize the remaining food by type: fruits/vegetables, dairy products. This method can be helpful if your fridge is overloaded, but it won't help much if you have a lot of cupboard space available. The kitchen is one of the most important rooms in the house. It's where we spend a lot of time cooking and preparing food, where we have our breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's also the room that gets dirty the fastest because it's where we prepare food. There are many different ways to organize your kitchen cabinets depending on how much space you have, what you store in them and what your needs are. This article will give you some ideas for organizing your kitchen cabinets if you're living in a small apartment or house with limited space. The way that you organize your kitchen cabinets depends on what your needs are. If you have a lot of space, you might want to store pots, pans and crockpots on the inside while organizing your plates, bowls and cups on the outside of the cabinet. If you have less space, then it might be better to store pots, pans and crockpots inside of the cabinets while storing plates. This article will give you some ideas for organizing your kitchen cabinets if you're living in a small apartment or house with limited space. Tips for working with limited storage space in your kitchen. If you have a limited amount of storage space in your kitchen, here are some tips for working with it. Organize your fridge. Make sure that you make the most use of the space in your fridge by organizing it well. You can store items that you need less frequently at the back and items that you need more often at the front. Use vertical space. If you have a lot of stuff on your countertop, think about using vertical space by stacking things up instead of storing them horizontally. This will help save a lot of space and make it easy to find what you're looking for. Use baskets. Baskets are an excellent way to organize anything from fruit to cooking utensils to spices and condiments. You can also use them to store things like paper towels or cleaning supplies so they are out of sight but still close at hand when needed. How to clear clutter from your tiny kitchen with underdoor storage trays and spice racks. Clutter is a huge problem in the kitchen. It can lead to safety hazards, increased dishwashing time, and even bad relationships with your significant other. Clutter is a problem in every room of the house, but it is most prevalent in the kitchen. Clutter can lead to safety hazards, increased dishwashing time, and it can even lead to bad relationships with your significant other. One of the best ways to start decluttering is by storing your spices in a way that makes them easy to grab and go. We use spices in nearly every dish we cook. It's easy to run out of them and not have time to go to the store. To make it easier, simply divide your spices into piles according to which type of dish you're making: Mexican, Indian, Italian, etc. Keep the dishes in a row on the kitchen counter or on a shelf. It will be much easier to grab what you. Underdoor storage trays are a great way to store spices because they are out of sight and out of mind. Make the most of your space by using vertical storage solutions. The idea of vertical storage is to store items vertically, rather than stacking them on top of each other. This method is perfect for small spaces because it allows you to maximize the use of your space. There are a few ways that you can utilize vertical storage in your life. If you have a cluttered closet, try hanging clothes up instead of folding them and stacking them on the floor or shelves. You can also use this method to store items in your garage or attic by attaching hooks to the walls and hanging things from them. The conclusion of this article is that AI writing assistants are not a replacement for human copywriters. They provide assistance to the content writers by getting rid of writer's block and generating content ideas at scale.